Okay, you want to start?
Beauty.
This is our test number 3. Those of you who have been following along with us. So tonight we're going to try, this is called speaker mode.
Speaker
Slightly different. I was in an auto mode last time. So I think what will happen
in your car?
is as we speak, there'll be more focus on the person speaking, right? And it won't have as many. We had a comment from my friend Bob Hope, which I'd like to say, my friend Bob Hope.
Shout out anybody that's still looking at this stuff. We salute you and we're grateful for your support.
We're doing it only for you. We don't enjoy it at all. It's painful and hard work.
I'm aching right now.
Yes, I know.
Quivering, really.
Quiver. Oh, I'm all a quiver.
So this is the speaker mode. We're going to leave the strip at the top just because we wonder now with it hopefully being focused on one person, then you may pay more attention to the top if you want it.
But send in your comments because we want it to look great for you.
That's the whole idea. Let us know. Some people have already said it. I had a couple people say they didn't like this. They agreed with me, the thing at the top. But then there were some who said they liked
the thing at the top?
Well, when I edited the last one, I didn't really pay attention to it at all.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it at all. I usually look at the speaker. Right, which is probably why this mode makes more sense. If I don't know. We'll see how it does it. It's basically editing for me, right? It's going to do some of the editing.
We want the editing process to be as easy as possible and as AI assisted as possible.
Well, yes.
Because then we don't burden you with production.
Right.
And you keep creative.
Right. So tonight we're going to also have a theme because we sometimes perhaps get a little distracted and we need a little focus. So tonight my suggestion has been the word beauty, the term beauty.
Beauty, eh?
Beauty, eh? That's right. Very Canadian of you. Yeah, maybe we could just start with that. Like, do you want to try define beauty for yourself? How you would define beauty?
I was thinking, I read somewhere today that the term dude came from the Sean Penn Fast Times at Ridgemount High.
Oh, yes.
That spawned that meme, I guess.
Yeah.
And where does beauty come from? That expression, beauty,
like
beauty, eh?
Like beauty, eh? That's also very Canadian, isn't it? Is that almost like?
Is that the Mackenzie brothers? Anyway, what has led us to that beauty? What does that mean to that guy? Is it something that's perfect? Is it the synonyms, lovely?
Right.
What makes that beautiful?
Right.
And the classical sense of beauty, I suppose, is the first thing we come to.
We are drawn to things that are beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, our history is full of things like, statuary, beautiful alabaster skin, and idealized beauty for the time. Rubensian women. You look at the Venus de Milo.
But very different than now.
Very different
right?
than
very
now.
different idea.
Yeah. So every age has its own.
Right. So that leads to part of my question. I wrote a bunch of questions down I'll go to, but the whole idea of, I think my why I was thinking about it was I was curious to know whether it was something that was learned, like I've been conditioned to think that certain things are beautiful, or is it a natural thing, right? Are we born with this sense of what beautiful is? I also struggle with language a lot. That language never seems to define things in as precise a way as it should, or it suggests something else, especially in English. A lot of words have other meanings, connotative meanings.
But I think for me, beauty is an energetic thing that happens between people. It doesn't happen inside either. But I've learned to trust that if I'm feeling really attracted to someone, it's something to learn from each other, and why be hung up about that?
Right.
But aren't you finding a certain kind of beauty in that person, someone who resonates with you?
Yeah.
And there's they talk about the vibe. There is a beauty there. Again, what is that? It's active, as you're saying.
So you're saying it's the relationship. It's not the person necessarily where beauty exists. It's the relationship
between all the sensors that we have, mainly visual, but all the senses. Two people just are attracted because there's something to learn. That's how I've come to understand.
Okay.
For me.
I've never thought about what a blind person's definition of beauty is.
Sure,
Because ours is
Excellent question.
so dominated by the visual sense.
yes.
For them, it's the auditory.
So I
and
asked-
touch, I suppose.
So Bill, I gave this example earlier today, and because we were talking about this, and that's one
Oh,
of the
I'm
questions
getting,
too.
I'm secondhand, is that?
No, you were just late, so you weren't. And we were talking about the physical beauty, right? Because a lot of people, when I ask that question, that's kind of what they turn to. I said, okay, I agree. I agree that there's certainly physical beauty is a big thing, but what I struggle with is I can look at somebody who initially I think is physically beautiful, but when I get to know them, if I don't like their personality, they become less beautiful. And the opposite is true too, right? There might be somebody who perhaps is, grows more beautiful as I get to know them, because of maybe it's that relationship that you're talking about, that's.
Well, and sometimes not having a kind of a historical dimension view of a relationship, of what this might be and what's the next date or whatever, and just focus on the now, sort of the ultimate dimension, I think that's where beauty happens. I think for me, that's the ultimate connection that humans can have, and it could be just that energetic first, loving smile.
Well, I was just going to say, how is
whatever.
that different than love then? Is it just love?
Well, no, there's love and lust and connection. And I just think I've spent too much of my life worrying about the definitions and just wanting the connection, with other humans. And I think that a lot of us are ready to come out of our shells from the post-COVID years and through COVID, and we're ready to be back just loving each other and the world.
Right.
That's
The Gong and I
practice.
agree with you for sure. I do wonder, again, is that beauty though? So to me that's love, is what you're talking about.
Is that what
And they can
beauty
definitely be-
evokes in you or brings out in you?
Sorry?
That's what beauty evokes in you. It brings
Well,
out
but
in
doesn't
you.
can't
your
beauty
response.
evoke all of those things that you mentioned? Can't it evoke lust? Can't it evoke
But is
love
that-
and
Somehow we also think that if it's just lust, that's she may physically be beautiful, or
Right.
the other person may be physically beautiful, but you're greedy or selfish in terms of satisfying your own. If it's lust, if there's no emotional dimension other than a physical dimension, like you're responding
But
to
that's still
an emotional
beauty.
vibe. Oh yeah, I'm not saying.
you can still
yeah.
it's got to be based on.
But I think it's not, it's a particular emotion that's being evoked, but it's not necessarily seen necessarily as beautiful. Because it can lead into too many things.
I would agree with that
Yeah.
for sure. It's interesting that like I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand why we would think that lust, like it has to be associated with beauty.
But
So-
out of the human dimension, beauty is when, again, you're touched by the enormity of the planet and nature or whatever. You have a deep connection with another animal. Whatever, but you have something real happening in the moment, on the earth, within the trees. This is real. There's a reality to that I think is very powerful. And I think we in the Western civilizations particularly have really, I had Calvinistic background, we were all screwed up about sex and everything else, like it was because we were back brutal wars and coming home.
Right.
So it's, I'm meandering, but I think the beauty for me, even outside the human realm, is something that just really, really connects with my heart chakra. That there's just like, whew, and that's the one I crave anyway.
Does beauty involve perfection? physical beauty, you look at symmetry and classical lines and the curves of beauty and, framing and the way it's posed and
The
colored.
Parthenon.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And what's symbolic in the posing and so on. So, where was I going with
But
that?
you can find, and that's partly where my question came from, was because I'm finding that I'm now finding beauty in places that others don't, and vice versa. So where I used to see, well, I'm still pretty, when I compose an image, I'm trying not to be as driven by the rules as I used to be. Or as I,
Excellent.
right, I'm
Excellent.
trying to let go of
I think
more of
as
that.
we
That's why you have all these
mature,
wacko suggestions at Bocce about how we should
Right,
play.
that's right.
But you do push the envelope. You do try things out.
Right, and yeah, so that's,
but that's our job as we age is to give everything away.
right,
And making a contribution is one way.
right,
And,
for sure. I'd like to play you this poem. I don't know if you follow the poem. By a guy named David White. So David White, you maybe have heard him if you've done some of the reflections, because he does a few of them. He's got a great voice too.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Beauty. Beauty is the harvest of presence, the evanescent moment of seeing or hearing on the outside what already lives far inside us. The eyes, the ears, or the imagination suddenly become a bridge between the here and the there, between then and now, between the inside and the outside. Beauty is the conversation between what we think is happening outside in the world and what is just about to occur far inside us. Beauty is an achieved state of both deep attention and self-forgetting. The self-forgetting of seeing, hearing, smelling, or touching that erases our separation, our distance, our fear of the other. Beauty invites us through entrancement to that fearful frontier between what we think makes us and what we think makes the world. Beauty invites us through entrancement to that fearful frontier between what we think makes us and what we think makes the world. Beauty is almost always found in symmetries and intriguing asymmetries. The symmetries and asymmetries seen out in creation, the wings of the moth, the airy sky and the solid earth, the restful, focused eyes of a loving face in which we see our own face reflected. The symmetry also, therefore, of bringing together inner and outer recognitions, the far horizon of otherness seen in that face joined to the deep inner horizon of our own being. Beauty is an inner and outer complexion living in one face. Beauty especially occurs in the meeting of time with the timeless, the passing moment framed by what has happened and what is about to occur, the scattering of the first spring apple blossom, the turning, spiraling flight of a curled leaf in the falling light, the smoothing of white, sun-filled sheets by careful hands setting them to air on a line, the broad expanse of cotton filled by the breeze only for a moment, the sheets sailing on into dryness, billowing toward a future that is always beckoning, always just beyond us. Beauty is the harvest of presence. I rarely teach writing itself, but at the San Miguel Literary Festival in Mexico a few short years ago, I found myself doing exactly that in a light-filled room in an old hotel that gave out onto a flat, expansive rooftop. Having spoken most of the morning and then set everyone to writing, I walked out through the French doors onto the roof surrounded by the mountains and the city to find a dancing cavalcade of newly washed sheets undulating in the breeze. Setting them all to dance and dancing with them herself was a laundress, moving deftly along each empty line without a pause, hanging sheets and linen as she went. The bracing spring mountain air, the grace of the woman's movements, and the answering grace of the undulating sheets seemed to set up a perfect constellation of elements calling and answering to one another. I spent an entranced 15 minutes chatting with her without her stopping once to break her rhythm, her unconscious dance steps. I took pictures, talked away with her as she appeared and disappeared among the sheets, and all the while started to write beauty as I stood there, my own writing exercise, but more importantly, a very privileged witness to the perfection of the morning. Beauty is the harvest of presence.
Oh, thank you, David White.
Wow.
Wow.
I wish I'd said any of that.
We didn't sound quite so eloquent, I think, in our
Man.
analysis.
Oh, John, you're bringing up
Will you send that to
the
me?
standards
I'd like to play
here.
that
This
for
might
Gene.
even be worth listening to now.
I think we should follow up there with a talk about the Leafs. That's all I've got to offer. Oh, that was amazing.
He's got a
No,
great
I don't
voice,
think
too.
I've heard any of his,
Okay, he's got quite a few
but
on
I'll
there.
search him out.
On-
If you would
on
send me
where?
that link.
So that's part of the Waking Up app. He's on there
Oh my goodness.
quite a bit,
Wow.
Wow.
and
Now
that's where
that
when I
fit to
Googled
me in with
beauty.
what you were saying about that moment, that response in the moment. When you suddenly you're here and there, you're there, you know, in touch with the other person and that beauty, the energy of life. What does he call it?
The harvest of presence.
The harvest of presence. In that moment, you're reaping that beautiful connection, that electricity.
But the important part too, though, isn't it being aware of that,
Yes.
right? Like you're
Well, being available for that too.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Like being available to live that deeply in the moment.
Do we have anything else we want to say before I stop this? I certainly gave you lots to think about.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. I have
your
broadened
research,
my,
and please keep this up. I mean,
yeah.
we got a little bit, but we don't have a lot of content on any given subject. But it kind of opened my heart here, listening to everything.
Sure.
I mean, it really shows the power of poetry.
The beauty of these things
Searing,
too, right?
the searing nature of how honest you can be.
Yeah. All right.
Very cool.
Well, that's beauty, eh?
Hey,
Hey, beauty.
I'm guessing it's time I should stop this.
Please.
this is
It's just
definitely not.
degrading now. We are degrading. We are degrading.
This is the wind down, people.
Goodbye.